for those of you out there who don't know, Tekken has always been a huge franchise that we have had a lot of respect for. After all, it's our favorite 3D fighting game, next to the follow-up Soul Calibur, which I'm sure you're all aware of. And of course, it's also no secret to anybody that the most popular and famous Tekken game of all time has always been
Tekken 6.
And it's with comments like that prove that his opinion just isn't worth a damn. It's been Tekken 3. Now, sit back as we review the King of Iron Fist Tournament.
7.
Behold, the 7th installment of the main Tekken series represents the final chapter in the rivalry between Heihachi Mishima and his son, Kazuya. The main theme of the Tekken storyline has always been fathers and sons, which is also reflected in the relationship between Kazuya and his son Jin. Let's face it, this family is really screwed up. The story mode of this game, called the Mishima Saga, serves to tie up one loose end while setting up the story for, hopefully, Tekken 8. The story is divided into 14 chapters, not including the prologue and epilogue, and a very special chapter at the end. The story allows you to set the difficulty for each chapter. For every chapter, you will take control of a particular character that is being featured in that part of the storyline. Despite the rather large roster that is featured in this game, the story primarily focuses on Heihachi and Kazuya, with only a handful of the other characters playing a role in it. This also unfortunately includes Jin. He is in the story, but only in a minor role. Sorry, Jin fans. Yeah, I know, I'm disappointed too. Now, this tale is also told from the perspective of a nameless reporter, whose family was killed during the escalating war between the Mishima Zaibatsu and the G Corporation. This tragedy has spurred him on to investigate this war to get the truth. This gets him involved in the events at hand. It's kind of like he is the stand-in for the player, and it was a pretty nice touch in our opinion. After the events of Tekken 6, Jin has gone missing, and this gives Heihachi the opportunity to take control of the Mishima Zaibatsu. He reaches a deal with Claudio Serafino, another head of a powerful organization, in an attempt to expose his son Kazuya as a demon to the world. Kazuya is head of G Corp. Yeah, evil businessmen are a dime a dozen. Meanwhile, Jin Kazama has appeared in a desert. He manages to evade an armed group sent to capture him with the help of Lars. Jin is then taken to Violet Systems to recover from his injuries. I mean, just in case you didn't know, fighting a demon god Azazel probably would take a lot out of you. Meanwhile, as Heihachi prepares for his upcoming battle with his son Kazuya, a party crasher has hit the scene. And it is none other than Akuma! What the Okay, Akuma is here, and apparently he's here to repay an old debt by killing Heihachi and his baby boy. So, Street Fighter and Tekken apparently take place in the same universe, huh? Oh, alright, how does this even begin to work? Well, you know what? At the end of the day, it is cool to have a guest character in a fighting game to actually be a part of the story. So, I can't complain much. Now, surprisingly, there are quite a lot of feels in this tale. It is important to keep in mind that this is overall Heihachi and Kazuya's story, first and foremost. So not every little thing in Tekken lore will be wrapped up here. Hey, gotta keep some of this stuff for the next game. The story does, though, get a thumbs up from us, as it has some pretty dramatic and emotional moments, which is kind of surprising for a series that has fighting pandas. On a side note, it is also pretty cool that all of the characters speak in their native tongue. Not a big deal, but it was still something we appreciated.
Do you know something?
Ci hanno riferito che un essere disumano è apparso in Estremo Oriente.
人間とは思えぬか。確かに奴は得体の知れぬ化け物じゃ。
Next to the main story, there are individual character episodes. Now this is where the rest of the cast get their time to shine. Here you will fight in one battle, and if you win, you will get that character's individual ending. In the options menu, you can choose the story difficulty, CPU difficulty, number of rounds, time limits, etc. Alright, now off to the battling. The combat in Tekken 7 is, well, Tekken in general. The 4 buttons on the controller each control a limb of your character. By pressing up on the D-pad, you will jump, down will duck. By double tapping up or down, your character will strafe around your opponent. You will want to get used to this, trust me. Double pressing back will back skip to create some distance, and double tapping forward will dash. Using space is very important to the fighting mechanics. While you can perform your standard punches and kicks and get along well with just those alone, if you really want to get good, you will have to spend time picking up the combos, and each character has a ton of them.
Credo che sarai un'ottima esca per la mia preda.
For example, Kazuya himself has about 78 different attacks he can perform. Almost every combination of button presses you can think of will result in an assault. Using Kazuya as an example, back down with both attack buttons will do a tackle. Up forward with consecutive kick attacks allows him to do that glorious cheap spin kick that we love doing so much, and it always works. Love that move. But those are only a few examples. Crouching attacks, jumping attacks, throws are all here as well. There's just so much to take in. Other nice maneuvers are wake-ups. When you get knocked down by hitting a mid-attack, for example, your character will leap up and deliver an immediate attack. It's a very nice way to keep the enemy off of you. There are a number of stages that you can battle on, and certain stages have even environmental hazards and breakable areas that you can bash your enemy through and continue fighting on a different playing field.
Tekken 7 introduces some new features as well. First is the Rage Art, which allows you to perform a huge attack that can drain your enemy's health by 30%, give or take. When your health reaches critical, i.e. your character's health starts flashing, you can then activate it. There's also a Rage Drive, which allows you to sacrifice your Rage mode to empower certain attacks. Next, there is Power Crush, that allows you to continue the attack despite taking damage. Another important part in this game is mastering launches that allow you to perform juggles. This is the kind of fighting game you think of when you think of juggling. Mastering this can create huge opportunities for dishing out a lot of punishment. You know, the bottom line is, Tekken 7 has a really in-depth fighting system. We're just hitting the main points here. To us, it's like this. You don't win at Tekken, just everyone else loses. When you play any Tekken game, there are so many things to grasp, from using space, to mastering combos, defensive techniques, throws, etc. And yes, it can get pretty intimidating at first. But you know, the funny thing is, the combat is also very rewarding. Putting enough time into learning these mechanics, and improving little by little, makes these games quite addicting. And that just goes to show how good the combat really is. This game can get masochistic at times, and you may need to view a few beginner guides on YouTube before jumping in. But once you dive in head first into this game, it gets pretty fun to play over time. The roster features a generous amount of characters for you to choose from a mix of old favorites and newcomers like Lucky Chloe. Why people had such a problem with her is beyond us. I mean, hey, if you've seen one anime J-pop singer dressed cat girl, you've pretty much seen them all. Graphically, there's really nothing to complain about here. The game just looks great, from the backgrounds to the character models, etc. And like any good video game from Japan, the women are all well-developed Amazons. Ah, fun times. But the one that is most impressive is Akuma, as he was rendered faithfully and is an accurate representation of his Street Fighter counterpart, and is integrated well into the Tekken universe. And surprisingly, he plays almost identically, to the point that we're now actually hoping for an eventual Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Hey, it could work. In offline, you have the option of competing in arcade mode. You choose a fighter and face off in a series of battles, finishing off with a pair of boss fights, typically against either Heihachi, Akuma, or Kazumi. Winning battles earn you fight money. In Treasure Battle, you will face off in battles in which, if you are victorious, you receive an item that you can use in the character customization screen. Versus Battle can allow you to beat up your friend who happens to be in the same room with you, while Practice gives you the ability to test your character against an AI dummy. You can also give the practice dummy certain commands that will let you practice against certain scenarios, like when your opponent blocks low, or hits you with an awake attack, and so forth. Now in customization, you can decorate your title card, player card, and health gauge, but the best part is character customization. Here, you can take the fighters in the game and use items that you acquire through victories to play dress up. not to mention using the fight money to buy accessories as well. Some will also add extra effects to your character, so it's not just strictly cosmetic. Just the crazy get-ups that you can put your cast in perfectly showcase the lovely goofiness that makes Tekken so beloved by many. Hey, you can stack Jenga on your head. Jenga. I love Jenga. Gallery Mode is basically a collection of movies that span not only Tekken 7, but the rest of the Tekken games, going all the way back to the first one. So if you feel like spending money, you can unlock them and feel free to watch them again and again. Or, you can just look them up on YouTube or something.
Hey, where's the online footage?
Oh, come on, Rob. Do you really want to see me get humiliated?
Now, Gene, your embarrassment gives me joy.
Okay, now come on, Rob. We don't like to make fun of people here on the channel.
Yeah, well, Gene's not people. What's your point?
In online mode, you can face off in ranked matches, player matches, and even enter tournaments, where you can really show people what you got. Which may not be all that much. Anyway, you can also modify your searches, such as setting rank restrictions and connections. Unfortunately, we ran into some issues. Some matches did come out fine, but there were cases of lag and herky-jerky stops and starts. We found the online experience in this game to be average at best. But if you had better luck with it, please let us know in the comments. Lastly, there is the music. Tekken is known primarily for its rockin' electric jams, and it suits us just fine. But it may not meet your individual tastes.
So overall, we feel that Tekken 7 is a very good fighting game. If you're a hardcore Tekken fan, we feel that this is a fine addition to the series, despite its somewhat suspect online mode. And hey, if you're even a newcomer, we feel that this is a good place to take the plunge. So Tekken 7 is a thumbs up from us.
Well, there you guys have it. That was another review from the Brotherhood of Gaming.com. I'm your host, William Morris.
I'm your co-host, Eugene Morris.
Now, before you go, do you guys agree with us? Do you disagree with us? What are your thoughts on Tekken 7? Was it everything you wanted it to be, or was it just mediocre? Please feel free to let us know down there in the comments below. And as always, we will see you next time.
Keep on gaming.
Hey guys, if you liked that video, be sure to hit the thumbs up down there below. And if you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all of our future uploads. And also, you might want to follow us on Twitter and Twitch, as we're constantly updating news on what's to come there and streaming. So if you want to be involved in the review making process by watching our streams, be sure to head over there to Twitch. See you next time, guys!